Attention, please, ladies and gentlemen. You're watching Yes.
Beautiful Thursday evening here in Boston. Fans walking down Lansdowne Street toward Fenway Park, where it is time for baseball. As the Yes Network presents New York Yankees baseball. It's the New York Yankees against the Boston Red Sox in the first of 4 from Fenway Park in Boston, Massachusetts. Hi, everybody, and welcome to Yankees baseball, along with Joe Girardi and David Cohn. I'm Michael Kay. Yankees just took 2 out of 3 against the Tigers, and I was having a long talk with Paul Goldschmidt before the game. I want him to direct me to the fountain of youth because he's 38 years old. He's playing like he's 22.
Are you going to take me with you?
Yes.
Please do. Yeah, you look at the last 25 games, 9 home runs, 25 RBIs, and he wasted no time off of Tarek Skubal yesterday. A 3-1 fastball in the first inning, up and in. He gets the head of the bat to it and hits it in the left field bullpen. And then in the third, well, I'm going to hit a hook. I'm going to show you I can hit that out too, and I'm going to provide all the power. You provided the power of the first one. I'll do it for the second one.
Well, he has made the loss of Stanton much more acceptable. So in the last 41 games, hitting .327, 13 home runs, and 33 runs batted in, OPS approaching 1. Well, the Yankees are trying to start this 4-game set in proper fashion, so we'll take a look at the pitching matchup in this one. Home Depot working on a win pitching matchup. The young left-hander Connolly Early will get the start for the Red Sox, and for the Yankees, it's Cam Schlittler coming off a really strong start, David.
Yeah, enough with the old guys. Let's get to the young guy. And this guy is on the mound tonight, and he is must-watch TV because he just dominates the strike zone and coming off of maybe one of the best starts he's ever had in terms of just owning a lineup. Up and down, no walks, 13 strikeouts, complete dominance.
All right, so his 8 wins, that's tied for 4th in the American League. ERA, opponent's average against, and WAR, he's 1st in the American League in each one of those important categories. Well, we told you about Goldschmidt's home runs, right? This guy hit a huge home run against Skubal. Meredith Marakovich talks to the young switch hitter. That's all coming up next, right here on the Yankee Entertainment and Sports Network.
Welcome back to Fenway Park for Yankees baseball on Yes. Game 1 of the 4-game series between the Yankees and the Sox is set to get underway in just a little bit. Hey everyone, I'm Meredith Marakovich alongside tonight's starting right fielder, Jason Dominguez. Jason, let's go back to the final game in Detroit just once, that 6th inning against Tarek Skubal. You were down 0-2 in that count. You battled back 9-pitch at bat to hit a home run. How are you able to stay patient in that situation, and what does that tell you about where you're at the plate right now?
You know, the first 2 at-bats that I take, I feel I was kind of like a little rushing to swing, and I swing on some bad pitches. But the third one, I just trying to get a good at-bat. You know, after I get 0-2, I think 2 strikes on balls, and I just read and like just focus myself and battle that at-bat. That was all.
You had told me you feel more comfortable against left-handed pitching, and the numbers show it. 321 average in 29 at-bats. What tells you that is sustainable for you against lefties?
I mean, just the same routine that I saw in spring training. You know, I think in spring training I feel pretty good hitting from the right side. Just keep that and, you know, make the adjustment that I had to make, and just trying to go one at a time.
You told me that right feels a little better than playing defense left field, but what's the biggest challenge for you in adjusting to a corner outfield position, one that you had not played before?
I think I came as a center fielder, then I go to left. And I think the experience to like move from one position to the other, I think it's helping me to make the transition. But there is no easy position in baseball, but I think that experience definitely helped me.
You ready to go tonight?
For sure.
You heard it. Here he is, Jason Dominguez. We're going to take a quick step aside. When we get back, we will have first pitch right here on Yes.
Yankees baseball on Yes is brought to you in part by Nissan. Hop into a Nissan Rogue and hit the road to adventure. Shop NissanUSA.com. By Sage, proud accounting software provider of the New York Yankees. By the New York Lottery. Play today and start imagining your win. And by Hyundai. Hyundai gives you America's best warranty on every new vehicle. Visit Hyundai.com for more information. Some of the great outfielders that have played in this series. Red Sox have taken the field. Youngster Connolly Early will deal against the Yankees in Game 1 of this 4-game set. Here's the lineup put together by Aaron Boone. The DH is Paul Goldschmidt leading off. Over at first, Ben Rice. He's fourth in the majors with 22 home runs. Then will bat second. Ahmed Rosario at third hits third. Center fielder Cody Bellinger cleans up. Batting fifth, playing right field, Jason Dominguez. Anthony Volpe at shortstop. Jazz Chisholm at second. Jose Caballero will play left field to bat eighth. And batting ninth and catching, it's Austin Wells.
And that lineup will face this lefty, Connolly Early. And you see on the season, this will be his 16th start. A little bit of a mixed bag across the way there. 14 home runs kind of jump out at you. And our Nissan pitcher scouting report brought to you, obviously, by Nissan. And, you know, I got to keep it going.
Yeah, please do.
Yeah, I mean, the little Super Tramp, the logical song, you know. And for Connor Early, that's kind of his style. He's a logical pitcher, sequencing. He's not trying to blow you away. It's really about the mix of his pitches, and that's One Mike by Nas. That's the same kind of thing, you know. It's one step after another in terms of how he sequences pitches. That's really a key to him, and it's more than a feeling. Obviously, Boston, we're here in Boston here, and for him, you know, he needs to pick it up a notch. Really, Boston needs to make a statement here against the Yankees and see if they're going to get back into this race or not, or at least into a wild card.
Well, let's take a look at the defense brought to you by your local Tri-State Genesis retailers. Rafaela and Abreu, they're about as good as you get. We'll feature William Abreu on the Car Shield defensive player profile. 16 defensive runs saved this season. That leads all major league players. He's something else. And Rafaela has 15 defensive runs saved, and Bellinger 14. So three of the better outfielders in all of the game. Goldschmidt's ready. Early's ready. And let's do it here at Fenway. Pitches outside, we're underway. Todd Titchener, the home plate umpire. Tyler Jones at first. Clint Bondrak at second. Adam Hamari is over at third. Goldschmidt with 4 leadoff home runs this year. One and one. Yankees are 48-31. The Red Sox 32-46. Second worst record in baseball. Only the Rockies are worse, and they just lost a series in Colorado. The Red Sox did.
And what's interesting about that is they're really struggling at home. They're 12-25, and you think you build your club around your home ballpark. They don't. All their lefties don't go to left field like you would want. The righties aren't all necessarily pull hitters, and they have struggled offensively at home.
This is a team that won 89 games last year and lost in the playoffs in 3 games, the wild card round of the Yankees, and they're in last place in the American League East, and people here in Boston are stunned and they're somewhat angered as well. The 1-2. 2-2.
So, David, as a pitcher, how much is Connolly Early do you watch like what Tarek Skubal did yesterday against this Yankee lineup?
Well, I certainly would watch just every left-handed pitcher against the Yankees, especially ones that are similar to you. I don't know if I'd be comparing myself to Skubal as much because his stuff is so dominant. But Connolly Early, more of a mix master.
Foul back.
He can hump it up. He gets good extension on his fastball, so it plays up, but he's not a big power guy. He needs to sequence his pitches, and he needs to kind of be on the edges a little bit.
Well, when he was in high school, he was throwing only 82 to 85 and ended up leaving Virginia at 90-91, and now he's up to 97.
3-2. Take a look at his arsenal on StatCast 3D by Google Cloud.
When you're looking at the arsenal and the velocity too, when you match up the arsenal, you got to think about average major league fastballs now around 93, 94 miles an hour.
That one is driven into left center field. That is going to be off the monster. Goldschmidt's going to go for 2. The throw by Rafaela is not in time, and Goldschmidt keeps on keeping on.
You know, he's like a double-edged sword because he gives you long at-bats and he gives you productive at-bats. Another long at-bat against the starter, 7-8 pitches, then he ends up hitting a double. And when you're running on Rafael Cedon in the gaps like this, he's got a great arm. He's very accurate, has a number of assists. You got to run the whole way.
I was going to ask you what that feels like right there, because you know it's a wall banger and you know you got to hustle.
Yeah, every other ballpark you don't have to kill yourself, but at this ballpark you always do.
And Ben Rice fouled away. Now the Red Sox had a nightmarish travel situation last night. They took off. They had some hydraulic issues. The plane had to go back and land, and they didn't get into their homes today until about 7:30 in the morning. But they had Connolly early travel early, so he was not part of that.
You know what's strange about that trip, and I was talking to you in the pregame about it, was a West Coast trip. And they didn't have a day off today. Usually when you come home from the West Coast, you get a day off. They did not, and then it became really bad when they had the plane trouble.
Now the Yankees also avoided their pitcher being fatigued. The Yankees got in, I'd say, to the hotel room about 1:30 or 2 in the morning coming from Detroit, but they had sent Cam Slittler ahead, and he took a plane before the game, before the Yankee game against the Tigers, so he was in plenty of time. Center field. Rafaela makes the catch. Tagging is Goldschmidt, just draws the throw. We told Todd Tichenor is behind the plate. The umpire scouting report brought to you by your local Kia dealers. He's considered hitter friendly. He's had 58 calls challenged, 40 overturned. 20th big league season. He's the crew chief. Fewer high strikes on righties, fewer low strikes. David, I'm assuming that Joe Torre held his breath when he sent you or David Wells ahead.
Sometimes together.
Here is Ahmed Rosario.
You know how Andy Pettit never shook off. Never shook off the catchers, right? I used to tell Andy, they need to send me ahead, not you ahead. I'm doing all the thinking.
1-0.
It was strange not to see Rosario in there against the left-hander last night, but with Weathers on, they chose the defense at third base over the offense, and it worked out.
Strike. Hit sharply and through for base hit. Goldschmidt had to hold up, so they're going to hold him at third as Duran gets the throw in to Durbin. A single for Rosario, and the Yankees have runners on the corners, 1 out.
Yeah, another good at bat by a left-handed hitter, and with all these outfielders with the Boston Red Sox, you're going to see this ball. He has to hold it just in case it's fielded by Durbin. They all can throw. When you look at Duran, he has 5 assists. Rafael has 4. And Abreu has 7, and that's why Goldie doesn't even test it. And you're so shallow in left field here, you know, you got to be able to fly to score on that.
Aaron Judge was not with the team in Detroit, but he has joined them here in Boston as he's recovering on the IL. 0-2. Stanton's also with the team. He was not with them in Detroit.
Maybe they saw all these lefties pitching and trying to get in the lineup.
Here, Fenway Park, those two guys.
3 in a row coming up.
The 0-2. Swing and a miss. He waved at that. Bellinger down on strikes. 2 away. Big strikeout for Early.
Yeah, really unusual because he does not strike out a lot. This is really a good sweeper. You see, it starts basically at him and ends up on the outside line. What great movement. He has really good movement on his sweeper, on his curveball. His curveball has a lot of sweep as well.
So here's Jason Dominguez, hitting .321 against left-handers. And now that average went up. A base hit up the middle. Goldschmidt scores. Rosario will stop at second. It's an RBI single for Dominguez. And the Yankees have a run.
Well, he said he gained a lot of confidence from the ball that he hit out yesterday against Skubal, and it just carries over into today. And confidence is such an important thing when it comes to hitting because it's about your decision making. And he didn't wait to see a pitch. He said, if I get a good pitch to hit, I'm going to swing at it. And it was a breaking ball up in the zone. Didn't try to do too much and just hit it through the middle. And sometimes when you come to Fenway, you worry about hitters trying to pull the ball and hit the ball over the left field wall too much. But he was great.
1-0 on Volpe. Rosario at second. Dominguez is at first. 1-0 Yankees. Just underway here at Fenway.
I always thought the little things were so important, especially when you have a guy like Cam Schlittler on the mound that you can score first. You know, you hear the old cliches, draw first blood, but it really is kind of baseball's version of momentum. Coming into Fenway Park, you got Cam Schlittler on the mound. Now you got a 1-0 lead.
Yeah, and they know who's on the mound. That's the other thing. You know who's on the mound, and sometimes it forces you to play a little bit different. You might play in more as an infield in a game that you wouldn't necessarily do and you know, in some of the other games, you know, there's not a lot of runs scored.
Driven deep to left field, hooking, foul. Makes the upper deck, but foul.
Man, that was a good swing. Just a tick out front. It was almost 4-0 in a hurry.
Runners will go 3-2. Swing and a miss. Volpe down on strikes, but the Yankees get a run on 3 hits, 2 men left. Yankees won. Boston Red Sox come to bat. Well, the Yankees hand Cam Schlittler a run, and he's ready to face the Red Sox here in the bottom of the first. We'll take a look at the Red Sox starting lineup. Yoshida leads off. He's a DH. Rafaela in center field will bat second. He's been hot last 19 games. Willie Abreu in right field will hit third. Wilson Contreras cleans up. Jaron Duran in left. Caleb Durbin starting to heat up after an awful start. He's the third baseman batting sixth. Anthony Siegler at second. Carlos Narvaez will catch. And Marcelo Meyer is the shortstop batting ninth.
That lineup will face this tall right-hander who is on top of his game, as you can tell by those numbers. I mean, they jump off of the page at you. Pick one out, they're all good. And the Nissan Pitcher Scout Report, like Imagine Dragons on top of the world. I mean, this kid's on top of the world. If you want to imagine a dragon, put him on the mound. He is a dragon on the mound, and X is going to give it to you. That's obviously his repertoire. He's going to give you the heater. Give him the heater. The heater's going to jump and move and cut and run, so it's a little different, but paint the town red like Doja Cat. He's had a little thing going on up here with New England. Yeah, maybe has a good game here. You're going to paint the town red afterwards.
You know, I think the next step is you to sing the lyrics.
I said what I said.
But we've got a big enough budget that we get DMX to do the second one.
Yeah.
In person.
He's available.
Yeah, he's not available, unfortunately. The 0-1. Ground ball, Volpe. Check out the Yankee defense, brought to you by your local Tri-State Genesis retailers, Caballero, Bellinger, and Dominguez left to right in the outfield. Rosario, Volpe, Chisholm, and Rice third to first. Austin Wells behind the plate. We saw Paul Goldschmidt as the DH.
So you had a four-seamer, a two-seamer. You didn't really have a cutter. But here's the question I want to ask you, or did you rely on your catcher? With three pitches like that, some hitters are going to hit the sinker better than the four-seamer better than the cutter. How much did you pay attention to that?
I really tried to zero in on the hitter's reaction every pitch. There's feedback. First, there's two types of feedback: where the pitch ended up and where you were trying to throw it, mechanically speaking, and then what the hitter did. The rest of it I trusted you with, in terms of what you were doing behind the plate, the sequencing of pitches, what you saw. I would trust your read first. But what I would consistently look for feedback from the hitter, how he reacted. Was he late? What's he looking like? Especially after a pitch, how he reacted. Sometimes they give it away.
Yeah.
Their body language, the look on their face.
I used to love when hitters, when you throw them a breaking ball, they nod their head. Yes, okay, I got you. Man, I was coming back with another, because if you had it, you would have swung at it.
Well, one thing leads to another there. If you see that graphic, when you throw that many strikes, you can get chases because you're constantly on the attack and the hitter's on the defensive.
2-2.
Well, the reason I asked the question is I look at Rafael and I looked at his numbers against, pitchers. 346 on cutters. Four-seamer and the sinker are better. So far, he's thrown him 3 out of 4 cutters.
Cam thought that was a strike.
How do you not swing at that? I mean, that's a strike the whole way.
Now, Schlittler hates walking people, and he just walked Rafaela with 1 out.
So I look at this Wilyer Abreu. He is built for this ballpark because he goes to left field extremely well. And I think it's another reason why he really hits left-handers, because he's willing to use the whole field.
Runner goes, big jump, no throw. Stolen base for Rafaela. That's his 10th of the year.
Yeah, he did the little hop, Coney, and got a great jump. And you put that in the back of your mind and say, okay, we're going to drop the mid the next time you do that, and let you know that we will pick you off. And it could come from the third baseman in a sense. It would be easy, the third baseman, to give you the sign.
Ground ball, Rosario. Staying put in second as Rafaela 2 down.
Oh, catcher's interference.
Catcher's interference.
Catcher's interference. Runner will be given first base.
I couldn't understand when they showed the replay. He was clapping, and why was he clapping? But again, the ball that's being hit the other way, your swing is later. The catchers go out to get it, to get the strike. Hits the glove. I think it's happening too much. Michael needs my whiteout.
Well, it's happening more than it's ever happened, as we mentioned in Detroit. The last 10 years, it's been catcher's interference more than any time in baseball.
Yeah, Todd Tichenor was all over it.
So that's an E2 on Wells. Here's Contreras. Contreras has been one of the bright spots for the Red Sox. 280, 16 homers, 46 ribbies, and they needed to add offense during the offseason. They thought they'd be able to bring Bregman back. That didn't happen. Then they made the trade for Contreras, and he has been exactly what they thought he would be.
And I think they thought they were going to have a big year out of Roman Anthony, who's been on the IL a good portion of this year. And you miss Trevor Story, who led their team in so many categories: hits, RBIs last year, stolen base. Their offense just hasn't quite been the same.
Swing and a miss. He struck him out. 2 away.
Right on up the ladder. That's the way you do it. Contreras is a free swinger. He got ahead. Just right at the letters. Perfectly located.
And I would say a good portion of the chases, we showed that graphic of all the chases he gets, are up in the zone because he doesn't throw a lot of breaking balls.
Throws it into center field. Bellinger will get it in. Raffaello will stop at third. Moving to second is Abreu. That's been a great play for the Yankees all year, but he threw it out of the reach of Volpe.
Yeah, for a right-hander in that situation, it's hard to see how big of a lead that he has once you turn around. You kind of hope that if you see that he's getting back, you just don't throw. But he airmails it. Now they have second and third.
2 errors for the Yankees in this half inning. Jarren Duran's been struggling, hitless in his last 17 at bats. Yankees lead 1-0. .97 right by him, 1-1.
Yeah, he's got great velocity on his cutter tonight. A lot of times you see it at 93, 94, 95, but I think he gets a little excited when he comes to Boston.
Chop towards second base. Chisholm gets Duran, and they work around the bad defense as the Red Sox strand 2. Well, Jazz Chisholm Jr. will lead off. Let's check out one of today's player props brought to you by Bet365, where winning is everything. Jazz, 1 or more home runs, that's plus 550. It'll be the bottom third of the order. Jazz does have 2 home runs in 5 games against the Red Sox this year. Yankees and the Red Sox play 4 series during the season. This will be the 3rd. 1 more to go at Yankee Stadium. Served into left field. It's a base hit in front of Duran. Leadoff single for Jazz.
Yeah, that's not something you see Jazz do a lot. Take the ball the other way like that. I like that. That's a great approach. And this is not an easy pitch to hit. This is down and away. It might even be below the zone. And he's got such great hands and quick hands. And he's got like that buggy whip that,
yes,
golly, the ball jumps off his bat.
Jazz has skills, no doubt about it.
And there's Jose Caballero. On a swing in last night's game, Caballero grabbed his back. He stayed in the game. Now, in Detroit, he fouled the ball off his foot, fouled the ball off his calf. And I asked him before the game, I said, how's your back? He said, hurts. How's your foot? It hurts. How's your calf? It hurts. He said, but everything's good enough to go. Meredith, you have more.
Michael, it was funny in Detroit after he fouled the 2 balls off of his leg.
Tries to bunt, and they get the force at second. Nice play by Early.
The Yankees wound up winning that game, and he was going to the shower, and he just screamed in the clubhouse, I have to stop hurting myself already, and everybody kind of started laughing. Now, you see he wears that one shin guard kind of thing when he goes up to the plate. He said he has everything from elbow guards, shin guards, you name it, he has it, but finds them all uncomfortable. If it were up to him, he would wear nothing, but says it is either get hurt or wear something. When he was 16, he injured his tibia, so he has a rod and a couple of screws in that leg. That is why he wears that one. Everything else, he says, just depends how I'm feeling. They're all kind of optional.
He's a mess.
Well, you always hear from people that you only feel great the first day of spring training. Then you just have to play through things. Wells fouls it away.
I know you feel great the last day of the season when you win the World Series, too. That's the other day.
Wells 1 for 8, 1 for his last 8. But in the last 12 games since June 12th, Yankee catchers actually hitting 300. It's been an offensive sinkhole so far this year, but that's not the case in the most recent games as Wells down on strikes.
This is where Early's fastball plays up. It's 95, which is decent velocity, but you see the carry to it. Good extension, good carry, good life on that four-seamer.
Back to the top of the order in Goldschmidt.
So right where Narvaez was holding his glove there, he was kind of holding it belt high in, is kind of where he hit the home run off of Skubal. And a lot of times as a catcher, I would set up early, hoping when we were throwing over that the guy would peek back a little bit and then go to the opposite side the next pitch.
And a strike.
A little bit of a lost art in today's game, right? The psychological warfare, the little tricks of the trade.
Well, catchers sit down the middle more than we ever did because they just want to let their stuff play, air it out and let it play opposed to hitting spots.
Snap throw to first, and Caballero dives back. You know, the Yankees hit 3 home runs against Skubal yesterday, and they were raving about how great Skubal looked. And to a man, they said that's how you beat him. You're not going to beat him stringing together like 5 or 6 hits to score runs. You have to hit home runs against Skubal in order to beat him, and the Yankees hit 3, and that was enough. But they loved his stuff. And Goldschmidt was asked how he did. He goes, I have no idea.
He's got, what, 4 home runs and 13 at-bats off of him?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Runner goes, foul back. There has to be serious consideration for him to be on the American League All-Star team. Now, he's not on the ballot because he wasn't expected to be a starter, but he's playing much more because of the injury to Giancarlo Stanton. That was the Yankees' insurance policy, and they cashed in on it, but his numbers are All-Star worthy.
And I think the insurance policy of Ben Rice off of left-handers, too. Like, how good was he going to be? Good day to give him an off pinch hit late in the game for one of your catchers.
Runner goes again. No throw. Stolen base for Caballero. That's his 18th of the year. And the count is full on Goldschmidt.
Yeah, really a tough pitch for Narvaez to throw on that one down and in because you have to wait so long before you move your feet. But you look at what he's done. His average, the at-bats per home run.
And ball 4.
You look at the at-bats per home run. He has 14 home runs in 54 games. He hasn't done that since 2015. You got to go back a long ways.
Well, I think this team overall has the best depth that we've seen in the Aaron Boone era because of guys like Goldschmidt.
Rosario, what he can do.
This team's built to win right now.
Yes.
Rice fouls it back.
No, I'm sure we haven't seen the finished product yet. We'll get through the trade deadline, maybe some maneuvering in the bullpen, Carlos Legrand, maybe an addition on down the road. Well, they will fortify. But as far as the bench depth, this is definitely the best that Aaron Boone's had to work with.
And you think about the difference between the two teams if the Red Sox don't get going. The pieces that they might move, a Chapman, a Contreras. Sonny Gray waived his no trade clause. Some pretty good pieces to pick up. Sonny Gray's 9-1. They have 32 wins.
2-1 on Rice. Rosario's on deck. Yankees lead 1-0. We're in the second. Caballero on second. Goldschmidt's on first. Allen just missed. It's going to be challenged by Narvaez. So ABS presented by T-Mobile. Let's take a look.
The pitch is a ball. Boston has one challenge remaining.
So an interesting note on the catcher Narvaez. Through June 3rd, he was 11-12 when it came to challenging. They worked on it with him. They took him out, used the machine, had him work on stuff. Since then, he's been 10-5, and that was the fifth one that he had missed. He has gotten better, but to me, that looked low right away.
Swing and a miss. 3-2. Well, the runners will go 3-2, 2 outs. I'll do it again.
That was the slider to hit right there. He left that one middle end, something that Ben could handle, and he missed it. Does he make another mistake?
Just notice, you know, looking around the crowd here, another packed house. I don't think I've ever been here where it hasn't been just packed, especially when the Yankees are in town.
Hit sharply and grabbed there by Seigler. And a nice adjustment by Contreras to make the play for the final out. Yankees get a hit, but they leave two.
Welcome back to Fenway Park, where Cam Schlittler is on the mound for his second inning of work. Schlittler currently leads American League pitchers in ERA, WAR, and opposing average against. But if you ask Schlittler about his season so far, he will tell you he is not satisfied. When I caught up with him after his bullpen in between starts in Detroit, after an outing where he struck out 13 batters against the Reds, I said, but what could you possibly be working on? And he said, simply my lines to the plate, also making sure he stays on top of the ball and throwing his four-seam fastball. He said at times this season he felt like both of those things were a little out of whack. Now, when Aaron Boone was asked about Schlittler, he said one thing that has stood out to him this season has been Schlittler's ability to make adjustments not only in game but in between starts. And obviously he has high expectations for himself. This team has high expectations for him too. But Michael, one thing he said to me in Detroit that I found interesting, he said he doesn't get the added adrenaline boost he thought he would get pitching here at Fenway, and maybe that's because he has been dominating this Red Sox team in his young career.
It seems like he certainly has their number, and the fans tried to get in his head. That seemed like it motivated him more. 2-1 on Durbin. Durbin got off to a terrible start. Last 7 games, 11 for 24. See what he's done against the Red Sox. Schlittler 2-0, 0.83. One's popped up. Schlittler looks and it falls. It's a base hit. Pitchers don't like to go near that ball. He was looking around for help, and there was no help to be had.
Coney, you got to go get that if you're the pitcher. And I think so many times they're taught to let the ball go, let the fielders get it, that you don't go after it. This isn't. He's very consistent in all of his movements. You can see that he has command of his body when he pitches, and he just doesn't go after it. And that's where communication becomes really important. If you're the catcher, you got to say, get it, Camp, get it, Camp, you know, as loud as you can.
There's Anthony Siegler. 1-0, so that scored a base hit.
Well, and the reason this is somewhat of an issue for me is you may not have Bednar and you may not have Cruz, your two top right-handers. You want to throw right-handers against the Red Sox. These extra pitches add up.
Last start against Cincinnati went 6 innings and threw 96 pitches.
It's an awful feeling, Joe, when you're out there on the mound and you watch a ball land in front of you like that. It's just awful.
Grounded. Second base. They have one play. They make it at first as Durbin moves to second.
Now, were you aggressive on pop-ups?
No, actually, I was not. But on one like that, right in front of you, that was you kind of got to try to go get that one. I agree with you. Generally, I'm a fan of getting out of the way, letting the fielders make the plays.
And here is Narvaez. Certainly not having the offensive season he had last year. He's lost a lot of playing time to Mickey Gasper and Connor Wong. But he does seem like he catches early. 4th straight start behind the plate for early. And 7th time in the last 9. So they like that connection.
As a manager and as a catcher, I used to like, if I wasn't playing every day, to catch the same guys all the time, because I had an idea of what that person's rhythm was, what was working for him his last start, what I felt comfortable I could go to. I got to know him better instead of bouncing around.
I could not agree more without putting the label personal catcher on
Yes.
it. But nonetheless, it helps. It works. There's a comfort level there. Some of the greatest pitchers in the history of the game love that concept. Greg Maddux was one of the best craftsmen I ever saw.
And he gets hit. So on 0-2, as Schlittler's trying to move him back a little bit, threw it too far inside.
Well, I give credit to that hit by pitch to Durbin, because Durbin had his attention as he kept looking back, and he leaves this cutter inside, and he was probably trying to be a little bit too quick to home. And what happens when you're too quick to home?
But that's the feedback we were talking about last inning. There's instant feedback on every pitch, and the feedback on that was a cutter that he left arm side up and in, and he rushed. Your lower half got ahead of your upper half. So you should process that in your mind. You know exactly the mechanical adjustment that you need to make based on the flight of the ball.
There's Marcelo Meyer. Oh. 1-0. Under interim manager Chad Tracy, Red Sox 22-29. And they kind of shocked the world when they got rid of a very well-regarded manager, and Alex Cora has a World Series under his belt. But they fired him early, and it has not worked out because the team continues to struggle. And Boone, who's close with Cora, admitted today that they have communicated. Nobody asked him this, but I wonder, does Cora help him out? Give him little inside secrets when they face the Red Sox?
They're friends. I'm sure he does.
And Cora's actually back in Boston. He's here to watch the World Cup. which is taking place in Foxborough.
Bet it misses the pad. No, it got the pad. Wow. Coney, I bet you did that a lot when you were hitting, because you seem to be like kind of a yank hitter, left-handed.
No, other way. Inside out.
First and second, one out, 2-2 count on Meyer. Durbin has 7 stolen bases, and as Joe said, he certainly got the attention of the Yankees.
You know, he's usually quick enough to home that if Volpe can help him a little bit, he should just focus on the hitter, because that's where you're going to get hurt. It's an easy throw for Wells at third.
Swing and a miss. Meyer down on strikes. Second strikeout for Schlittler, 2 down.
Some high cheddar right here, 99 miles an hour. That's the thing you get with Schlittler. We've always talked about his fastball. He throws a lot of fastballs, but they do something different every time. And when he wants to put you way up top, that's the one with the hop on it. 99 miles an hour with riding action.
Well, you have that split second to decide, is it sinking away, is it coming in, or does it have ride?
Here's Yoshida. Last 11 games for Yoshida has not gone well. 7 for 38.
He is one of the guys that's had a little bit of success off of Cam, though. 2 for 8 coming into tonight. That's probably why he's in there.
That one is back to Schlittler. He fields this one and gets the out at first, and that'll do it. No runs a hit, and 2 men left. Play FanDuel's Daily Dinger for free every day for a chance at a profit boost if your selected player hits a home run. And here are the featured home run odds for today's players. Paul Goldschmidt plus 700, Ahmed Rosario plus 750. And Rosario leads off here in the third against Connolly early. Rosario single through the left side of the infield in the first inning. 1-0. 294 lifetime hitter against left-handed pitching with an OPS close to 800. A strike. Early's 24 years old, second big league season.
Tell you what, you'll see him a lot of times. He'll be late on heaters, and they'll flip him something off speed, and he'll hit it in the seats.
One thing about Ahmed Rosario, he's not looking to walk.
No,
he's looking to swing the bat.
Rosario down on strikes.
That four-seamer, a couple of sinkers away, and then the four-seamer in. Little late.
He's looking just to get a base hit there.
Now, Early won a rotation spot in spring training, and Alex Cora said, I picked him because it's the same thing that gave me confidence to pitch him in Yankee Stadium in the Wild Card Series. Stuff-wise, he's really good. A 5th-round pick out of the University of Virginia in 2023. One and one. Bellinger struck out in the first inning.
The thing about him is he's got 6 different pitches, 3 different breaking balls that come into a right-hander, a changeup and a sinker that goes away, and then he can ride the four-seamer up. Oh, he was going to check that. I really believe had he not lost the first one, he would have checked that.
That's a foul ball as it goes to the backstop. 2-2.
Yeah, it looks like it hits off the knob of the bat. No, it hit off the barrel. Back in the day, they would have tried to play that off as getting hit, but now with replay, you can't do it.
Kind of a hot and humid day here in Boston. You see Early's face is kind of bathed in sweat. But both pitchers are wearing long sleeves on a hot night. Second base, Siegler. And look at Bellinger hustling down the line. They catch him. Jason Dominguez comes up, cooking up something special with Hexclad. Join the hybrid revolution at hexclad.com. So against left-handed pitching this year, .345 with 5 extra base hits and 30 plate appearances. That was the big concern. He can't hit from the right side. And he's actually had struggles against right-handed pitching this year. The numbers are much better against left-handers. And Aaron Boone has long contended, I don't have a doubt he's going to hit right-handed. And he would explain he's a natural right-handed hitter. Ground ball, Siegler, and Early works a 1-2-3 third inning. We'll go to the bottom of the third. Well, time for Pinstripe Pride, brought to you by Toyota, the official hybrid vehicles of the Yankees. Tonight's picture is of Alex and Nicole, Yankee fans from Massachusetts who made their way to the Bronx earlier this season. Use the hashtag Toyota Pinstripe Pride and mention yes in pictures you post to social media to reflect your love for the Bronx Bombers. We might spotlight you in a future game. Ceddanne Rafaela leads off. First pitch outside, 1-0.
See him take that first pitch. That's not something he did last year very often. He was swinging about 50% of the time on first pitch. One of the higher guys in baseball. He's down to 37%. League average is about 30. So he's become more patient, more effective as a hitter.
Now his full name is Ceddanne Chipper Nicasio Marte Rafaela. And because of Andrew Jones, everybody in Curacao rooted for the Braves, and his mom's favorite player was Chipper Jones. So that's why it's one of his names.
Remember those old standardized tests you'd have to take, and you'd have to put the letters in? It'd take a while.
It's a beautiful name, though.
Yeah.
Kind of what you hear a lot of hitting coaches talk about, and really in analytics departments about hitters like Rafaela, just to swing less. He swings too much.
Strike 3. And he looked like he wanted the challenge, but he knows they're down to 1. So he walks back to the dugout.
Now, swinging less with 2 strikes doesn't really work, but yeah, when it's painted on the outside corner, that works.
When you think about most of everything that he has seen has been going away from him, all the cutters that he's thrown him, and then he starts one away and brings it back, and as a hitter, it's like, really?
He thought about challenging. You see him catch himself, put his hand up right up to his helmet and stopped himself.
Here's Wilyer Abreu.
Watch Rafaela. Here you go. Watch it right here. No, no, no. I'm going to challenge that. Wait, no. Whoa. Wait a minute. I played it right off, didn't he?
Goes right along with that name,
it's
doesn't
like
it?
going to shake somebody's hand and pulling it away at the last minute.
Got good velocity tonight. That was 99. 0-2 on Abreu. Reached on a catcher's interference in the first inning. up there 100 miles an hour. Abreu down on strikes.
A little extra day's rest sometimes does the body a little bit of good, Cody.
I agree completely. Above the zone, and we're going to classify that as a sinker.
See the spin on it?
Well, it either hops, cuts, or runs. Hops. Hop along Cassidy.
Ground ball first base, backing up is Rice. Didn't know he had it. And then he flipped to Schlittler for the final out as the Red Sox go down in order. Well, the ultimate goal of an MLB fan? Well, seeing it all. The MLB Journey to 30 Sweepstakes presented by T-Mobile, the ultimate bucket list. Enter now for your chance to win trips to all 30 ballparks. Yes, all 30. Go to MLB.com/journey to 30 sweeps. We go to the fourth inning, 1-0 Yankees. Anthony Volpe will lead off. There's a strike. He struck out in the first inning. Anthony was 4 for 12 in Detroit. Last 12 games hitting .395.
You know, you see how he took that first fastball in and he looked like, you know, was that in? That tells me that his approach is right, that he's looking out over the plate and not looking just to yank something. And I think that's probably why he didn't swing at that breaking ball.
Hey. 1-2.
Not so sure about that one. That one looked a little in to me.
Check the swing. Didn't go.
I was hoping that we would have got some of the soccer chants here tonight that they had the last homestand. The Norwegians, oh.
Swing and a miss. Got him on the curve.
We've seen Early kind of settle in and mix all his pitches in, and that's what we talked about tonight. And kind of our scout report on him, that it's not overpowering, although he can rush it up there here and there, but his breaking stuff and his changeup have excellent movement, kind of sweeping action there on his breaking stuff. Changeup a real downer.
Jazz single to left in his first at bat.
Well, the thing about having 6 pitches like him is a lot of times you don't know what you have until you get into the game. Sometimes the pitch will come along a little bit later, so when you only got 3 or 4 pitches, you know what you're throwing.
Yeah, that's the funny thing too. It can change from inning to inning. You go sit down on the bench in between, you go back out there, and all of a sudden you find a feel for something. It's all rhythm and release point, synchronicity in your mechanics.
Is there usually a pitch for a pitcher that's the hardest, like it's consistently the hardest one to find?
Well, generally, it would be glove side, outside corner. For a lefty, it's down and away to Jazz here.
Hi, Papa. Siegler. 2 down. That brings up Jose Caballero.
You know, mechanically speaking, for every pitcher to be able to throw glove side down and away, your mechanics have to be perfect to be able to locate and hold on to the ball longer to get it down and away.
A strike from Early. Top of the fourth inning, 1-0 Yankees. Yankees got the run in the first inning. RBI single by Jason Dominguez. scored Paul Goldschmidt, who led off the game with a double off the Green Monster.
.45 strikes out of 67 pitches so far for early.
And I think they have a really good left-hander here in Ranger Suarez that can teach this young man a lot. Because Ranger's that guy with 6 different pitches. Can throw any pitch anywhere. His changeup to into lefties, away from righties. Really knows how to pitch.
High fly deep to left field. Is it high enough? Yes. See ya. Over the Green Monster into monster seats. It's a solo shot, and the Yankees lead 2-0.
Well, he got a breaking ball down, and it's really not that bad of a pitch. You may have wanted to have it inside on him more, or even a little bit lower than he threw it. But Caballero goes down and gets this breaking ball and hits it out for his 8th home run, his 28th RBI, and he's having fun.
Big cut by Wells, 0-1.
Here's the pitch again. You see this breaking ball. He's trying to sweep it in. It looks like down at his back foot, and he doesn't get it there. And that's what happens. He sped his bat up and allowed him to pull it.
Yeah, the margin for error when you're throwing pitches like this is either swing and a miss down in and off the plate, or if you leave it on the plate, this can happen.
Great catch by a fan in the second row of the monster seats.
Think he's a fan of Robin Hood?
I'm not sure.
Cupid?
And Rosario was playing what? What is that? The flute? He's playing?
Could have been.
Swing and a miss. Wells strikes out for the second time. But the Yankees double the lead. Jose Caballero goes over the monster. Takes out the quiver. Draw back your bow. Time for pitching decisions presented by Sage.
Well, it must be fun when you can rear back and throw a baseball like that at 99 and 100 miles an hour. That's boy, I got that in my hip pocket anytime I want. That must be a good feeling. A little hop on top. I mentioned Hopalong Cassidy, the last inning, a couple of our favorites.
Well, you got to go find the fountain of youth to be able to throw 100 again. You were making fun of me and Michael earlier in the pregame.
So I've got to ask you this, David. A lot of those pitches that seem like they're going up in the zone, pitches don't rise, but if they stay on their level, it looks like they're going up. Listed as a sinker. How is that possible that a pitch up in the zone could be a sinker?
It's a question of the spin, you know, what the tracking system is picking up out of his hand. You know, when you throw at high velocity, you know, he might be trying to front door one there and just got up underneath it a little bit, but you know, he's got that kind of arm speed. You could still get that kind of life with a two-seamer up in the zone.
Lined into right field, and Dominguez will play on a hop. A base hit for Jaron Duran. That's the first legitimate hit for the Red Sox.
Yeah, Jaron Duran gets this high cutter, right?
Yes.
He doesn't have a lot of movement to it. I think he probably wanted to get it on his fist a little bit more. And because it's up and elevated, he's able to elevate it over the second base. He didn't get it all, because if he would have got it all, he would have hit a home run. Now you got to worry about him running. 11 for 11 and stolen bases.
Turbin tries to push bunt. Fouls it off.
Interesting idea. Velocity's hard to bunt. You know, I always wanted to bunt like a breaking ball because they've deadened it for you already. Well, you got a guy throwing 100 miles an hour and you're trying to bunt. It's going to be hard to deaden.
Red Sox had a little bit of a scare yesterday with Durbin. He made a dive headfirst into first base, hit his left pinky on the bag. Manager Chad Tracy said it was facing in the wrong direction, but they popped it back in and there was no fracture, so he's still playing.
With no sleep.
This is the play.
We talked about that yesterday, Michael, sliding head first into first base.
Constantly talking about it.
That wasn't even a slide. That was just a belly flop right there.
Swing and a miss. 95-mile-an-hour cutter.
One thing about the cutter that has changed this year, the profile, is that it's staying up. It has some riding action to it. And that's been much more effective for him this year. He's retained a little more velocity on that pitch on average, and the movement profile much better. So one of, you talk about his sinker, Michael, and we're so specific with classifications now, sweepers and sliders and curveballs. He doesn't throw a sinker. He throws a two-seamer that runs. We need another classification for fastballs then, because we just put sinker on every two-seamer and no two are the same.
So the computer that identifies it just picking up the spin, but it's not necessarily a sinker.
Yes, it's picking up the spin orientation. Yes, among other things. There's a few variables that feed into it. But
so do we blame AI?
Well, that's always a default position. Yes.
1-1.
There's just not enough variables on the sinker.
When I think sinker, I think true sinker. Roger McDowell back in the day. Derek Lowe, former Red Sox pitcher.
Popped up, runner was going. And let's see if that falls in. It will. And it bounces into the seats for a double. Duran was caught between the rock and a hard place. He was backtracking and going back to first, and then the ball found the warning track and then bounced into the seats for a double.
Yeah, that's a real unfortunate break because this ball is not hit hard. He gets in on his hands. He jams him badly, and you can see that Wells is getting ready to throw. Duran, I'm not sure he peeked in and he couldn't find the baseball. That's why he didn't know, should he go back or should he stay? Because if he had seen the baseball, he would have just kept running to third. You see he slides. He doesn't know where the baseball is. He's reading the outfielder. He's not reading the ball. And he sees the outfielder running towards the ball.
Narvaez fouls it away. Yankees are giving up a run here. The infielder's back. So Schlittler would like to strike out Narvaez to not give up that run. They put some heat on Schlittler. He's been pitching well, but he's had to pitch out of some jams. Red Sox left 4 runners on in the first 2 innings. He worked a 1-2-3 third, but more trouble here in the 4th. Good pitch. Strike. 99 on the corner.
I feel a sinker that starts off the plate coming back.
You gonna backdoor one here?
Yes.
You calling it?
That's what I'm calling. This is where I wish he had your drop down slider. I'd be calling that.
Swing and a miss. One upstairs. Aaron Judge for a 6th strikeout. 99. 6th Yankee strikeout brought to you by your local Tri-State Audi dealers.
Well, you can definitely see the 4-seam spin there in our slow motion shot right there. Excellent shot. And that actually, in slow motion, almost looks like it's rising a little bit. That's the kind of life he has up there near 100 miles an hour.
Here's Marcelo Meyer.
You know, the interesting thing about Myers, I feel like he's a prototypical hitter who tries to hit the fastball to left center and will pull the breaking ball. So what happens when you pitch him in? He doesn't know how to really push it over there. Even with the cutter, it becomes difficult for him.
Two 2-0 Yankees. Red Sox second and third, 2 outs here in the bottom of the fourth. One and two.
62 pitches from Cam Schlittler so far, 32 cutters, 17 four-seamers, and 12 two-seamers.
Not one breaking ball.
Not one breaking ball so far.
Not one curveball, not one slider. And this would not be the point that I pull it out either.
This will be his 63rd pitch. Missed inside.
You know, I was talking to you a little bit about what I love about Cam is you can see the frustration in him when he doesn't execute. He expects so much from himself, and I like that because that's how you get to be great, where you will yourself to perform.
Swing and a miss, and he is pumped up after that strikeout. Red Sox strand 2. We go to the 5th. Paul Goldschmidt's going to lead off. We thought we'd give him the Mel Allen treatment.
How about that?
His go-to pregame meal is a plain dry hamburger from Chili's. Wow. Uses a detailed routine of pregame stretching and postgame weight training to maintain durability. And he finished his college degree in 2013, completing coursework on team flights and in hotels early in his major league career. Here's some of that stretching routine early. That's how I run even without that band.
Well, I was thinking that you had your daily stretching routine, Michael, and then after you lift weights after the games.
And then I have a plain dry hamburger.
Yeah, no condiments.
That's right. It might be the most messed up order that you can give to any fast food place. They don't get plain. They just don't get it. They don't understand it. They know you're weird. They don't hear that. And it always comes back to something on it.
You sound a little frustrated.
Yeah, I am. It's frustrated me my whole life.
Just because you're in the 1% population.
But I never understood, why can't you just make the hamburger plain and let people put on what they want?
Well, it's part of their signature burger or its chicken sandwich.
Strike 3, he's down looking. You tapped the top of your head, Davey. You think that was low?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a little low, but you know what? Goldschmidt's, you know, it's not egregious, so he's not going to challenge, and I admire that about Goldie, but I thought it was low.
Well, on Monday,
it was low.
The last pitch of the game called strike 3 on the Yankees was a ball, and they were out of challenges. Tuesday, they had 2 challenges left.
Ground ball to first, 2 down.
Wednesday, they had 2 challenges left in the night. They didn't use them. I
agree. I mean, Goldschmidt against a left-handed pitcher on a strikeout pitch, that's the time you might want to use it.
Yeah.
Trying to have a nice economical inning here in the 5th. Rosario 1 for 2. The 1-0 count. Line. Oh, knocks down Durbin. Gets back up. And he gets Rosario. The ball ate him up, and then he took a bite out of it and fired it to Contreras for the final out. A hot shot to third base. Knocked the third baseman down. Stayed with it. End of the inning. We're halfway through. Yankees up by 2.
Welcome back to Fenway. The Yankees have a couple of scouts and front office members in the house tonight. You see Matt Ferry on the left, the assistant general manager. Also Matt Del Pino on the right there, a scout for the Yankees. And Matt Hyde, the guy responsible for finding both Ben Rice and Cam Schlittler. Pretty cool earlier today. You see Ben Rice talking to Matt Hyde right there. A few minutes after that, Cam Schlittler actually walked out wearing his usual pregame wardrobe on start days, a hooded sweatshirt with the hood up. He greeted Matt Hyde, gave him a handshake, and then Hyde told him, go get him out there tonight, Cam. Awesome, the fact that the Yankees were able to find both Ben Rice and Cam Schlittler right in the Red Sox backyard, considering both of those guys grew up here in Massachusetts. And thinking of how much they mean to this Yankees team and have meant to this Yankees team over the last 2 seasons, guys, the Red Sox must think, man, I can't believe we let those 2 guys get away.
Oh, Meredith, it's got to gall them. I mean, Cam Schlittler pretty much pitched them out of the playoffs last year. And, you know, Ben Rice has been a thorn in their side, had a 3-home run game against them. So, yeah, they were right here to be seen. And a lot of people skipped over them, 8th in the 12th round. And the Yankees listened to Hyde and used their selections in those respective rounds to take them. But when they took Schlittler, let's be honest, I mean, he wasn't a can't miss. He was throwing 91 miles an hour. So it was their system and working with him, and now he throws 99. So both sides deserve credit.
You shorted him one. He throws 100.
He did today, yes.
I think that has to be one of the hardest jobs in sports, is to project what someone could possibly be. Thinking that he's, like Michael said, throwing only 90 to 91, and you say, well, I think he's going to get a little bit more. But he got a lot more.
Well, not only is it a franchise-altering draft, those 2 guys together really just it's almost immeasurable, the value they've added to the franchise, and also for the scouts. There's a love there, you know, when you sign a guy like that and watch him come up, it makes you. Yes. It makes your career. It's something you carry with you for life.
Well, let's take a look at these stats brought to you by your local Tri-State Buick dealers. 2.25 ERA and 154 strikeouts through 30 career starts. You've got Valenzuela, Fernandez, Skeens, and now Schlittler joins that list. A walk to Yoshida. You know, one thing you have to give the Yankees credit, and they've always said that this was the case. So many teams have gone the analytic way and gotten rid of scouts. And Brian Cashman has always said, we have boots on the ground. We do have our scouts. We've retained them. And obviously Matt Hyde made the pitch for those 2 guys, and they were drafted. So give credit to the Yankee organization for, yes, going deep into the numbers, but not getting rid of the human elements.
It's well said. And I could not agree more. I think it's actually coming back around a little bit, full circle. And you know how I love the analytics, Michael. I love learning about it, all the new toys. But yes,
up the middle and through for base hit right over second base. So Raffaello with a single, and again more traffic on the bases for the Red Sox. First and second, nobody out.
Well, here's the thing. When you see someone in person, there's a lot more that you can see. This is just a cutter. He's thrown him a lot of cutters tonight, and he gets this one through the middle. It's a little bit too high up in the zone, almost hit him again, and he went through that like 3 or 4 starts ago where he kept getting hit. But when you go out and look at a player, you see the baseball IQ, you see the work ethic, you see how he relates to his teammates. All of that is important. I mean, let's just talk about Paul Goldschmidt and what he does for this team. Besides the baseball skill, the leadership in the clubhouse, how he helps the young players. You think about how Jason Dominguez looks up to him. He calls him young Goldie now. I mean, it's just, there's so much of that you can't see just from an analytic.
Quick trip to the mound by Wells as they talk it over with Schlittler. And Todd Titchener went out there to break it up. So here's Abreu, first and second. He's the number 3 batter in the order for the Red Sox. Nobody out. Yankees lead 2-0. Yankees have 5 hits. The Red Sox have 4. Popped up. Rosario leaps. Can't make the play. Didn't truly know how close he was to the netting, but he gave it a try.
Yeah, a tricky play for the third baseman because you have to worry about the netting. You have to worry about the half wall. He had a chance to catch it. He's just not able to come down with it. He jumps. It goes off the top of his glove. It's a tough play. It's got that funny side spin when he hits it that way, the left-handed hitter. Well, that would have been a big out. He gets jammed. I mean, he hustles. He kind of slows down a little bit. Maybe if he would have kept running a little bit further, he would have got to it.
Foul back, 0-2.
That one wasn't caught either.
Yankees 2 for 6 with runners in scoring position tonight. Red Sox 0 for 6. Red Sox score 3.94 runs per game. Only the Padres are worse at 3.91. The Red Sox issue is really not their pitching. Their bullpen's been outstanding. Pitching as a whole, they allow 4.03 runs per game. That's 7th in baseball, but their offense is not good.
Yeah, if you look at the runs they've scored and the runs they've allowed, their record should be closer to 500 right now. Lost a lot of close games. You mentioned those offensive woes.
Fouled away. Check out the Mohegan Sun team scatter report. Yankees in first place. Rays already won today, so they're 2 games back in the loss column. Blue Jays 39-41. Orioles struggling, and the Red Sox, who'd have thunk, it's 2nd worst record in baseball. So Wells giving Titsner some time. He said, "I'm good."
That's direct too. That's a tough one right there.
Strike 3. Abreu down looking. Big strikeout.
Now, if you watch this pitch, now you can see the 2-seam movement on it. Almost knocks the glove off of Wells's hand.
Well, you know, 2-seamers feel heavier when you catch them. I don't know why, but they just do. Like the 4-seamer a lot of times feels light. And you're right, it moved his glove pretty good.
Yeah, he didn't have time to frame that. It kind of framed itself. Here's Contreras, 0 for 2, a strikeout and a ground ball to first. First and second, 1 out. Missed outside. Well, when Elmer Rodriguez pitched on Sunday, it allowed everybody in the rotation to get an extra day of rest, and you can see that has served Schlittler well. His velocity is top of the line tonight. Look at that, 100 miles an hour on his 81st pitch. Hit sharply and through the legs of Rosario. And it scores. Rafaela will stop at third. Going to second is Contreras, and the Red Sox on the board. It's 2-1 Yankees. Rosario makes that play. It's an inning-ending double play.
Yeah, this ball is smoked off of Cam Schlittler, but it just goes right between his legs. It gets by him before he gets his glove down, and you can see him kind of turning to get ready to throw to second base. It would have been a huge double play ball, but now it's 2-1 with runners on second and third and 1 out.
Well, a lot of people were questioning yesterday, why wasn't Rosario playing third against a left-hander? And this is the reason why, because you had a left-hander on the mound, and you were expecting a lot of these ground balls, and Rosario's an outstanding hitter against left-handed pitching, but he is not a great defender.
Yes, and that was 113 miles an hour as he's playing even with the bag, so you have just a split second to react. That's why they call it the hot corner. So
yeah, I mean, we saw
that was 113 miles an hour.
The play that Durbin just made. I mean, he was kind of diving out of the way, and it found his glove. Well, it didn't find Rosario's glove, and it ends up being an error and an unearned run.
Now second and third, and the infield is back, except at third. Fly ball shallow left, coming on Caballero, tagging Rafaela. He's coming home. Here's the throw. He's in there, tagging. So Duran with the sac fly. It's 2-2.
Yeah, this ball is not hit very deep, and if it's an accurate throw, I believe Rafaela is out. Caballero does not play a ton of left field. And you can see it's off to the right. It gets to Wells in plenty of time, but because it's up the first baseline, it allows him to score.
And because of his speed, it would have had to have been right on the money to get him.
Yeah, and Caballero, I mean, has done a fabulous job moving all over the place. And it can't be an easy job, all the different throws that you have to make.
And the pitch to Durbin is a strike. A Norwegian allegiance, and they are doing their rowing. 1-1. France plays Norway tomorrow in the World Cup. Now on the board they have Schlittler's ERA at 1.81. The way I figure it out, both runs are unearned.
Yeah, they started to put a hit on the board, and then they changed it to an error, so that might be where the confusion is, Michael.
3-1. The Yankees had 2 errors in the first, and now the error by Rosario on the hot shot.
And you think about the little bloop hit in front of Cam, it all adds up, and it's a concern of mine, the extra pitches that he's had to throw. When you're throwing extra pitches, eventually you lose your effectiveness.
3-2 on Durbin. Durbin with a single and a strikeout.
It's also pushed his pitch count up closer to 90 now, number 89 coming, so trying to get out the 5th here.
And again, they probably don't have Bednar and Cruz tonight, so it's going to be interesting. And you look at the Red Sox, they hit lefties a lot better than righties.
Deep to left field. Let's see if it's high enough. It is over the wall. A 2-run home run for Durbin, and the Red Sox have taken the lead 4-2.
Well, he has swung the bat a lot better since the month of June, hitting over 300, where he struggled mightily And there was question marks about the trade, but he comes up big here with this 2-run homer on a cutter, Coney, that just was kind of spinning in the middle of the plate.
Well, they have made Schlittler work. He has great stuff tonight, but they have really extended him. This will be his 90th pitch. And there's a strike to Siegler.
Another look, and we talked before about the cutter and the elevation of the cutter being much better for him. And there's a prime example, because when it's down like that, it turns into sort of a lesser fastball that allows a hitter to get the head out in front.
Absolutely.
Oh, and 2. Swing and a miss. And Siegler down on strikes, but the Red Sox get 4 runs. Yankees commit 1 big error, and we will go to the 6th.
Hey everybody, Bob Lorenz with your Audi update. Rangers and Blue Jays tonight, and top of the 3rd, Rangers add to a 4-0 lead. Jake Berger off Kevin Gausman. A 2-run shot, his 14th of the year. Berger batting .360 over his last 15 going into the night. There's nothing like a good Berger. Texas leads at 6-3, top of the 7th.
Well, thank you, Bob. We go around the majors. How about Dansby Swanson, what he's doing against the Mets? 15 ribbies, 11 in yesterday's doubleheader sweep. Marlins have been red hot in June. And Ohtani 8-1, 1.58 this season, and a 364 average of late. What an exchange between Ohtani and his young catcher Dalton Rushing yesterday, where Rushing said, no, don't challenge. And Ohtani said, yeah, okay, quiet. And he challenged it, and it ended up being a strike. Yeah. Dave Robertson, Freddie Freeman pretty much told Rushing, don't mess with the franchise. So the Yankees are now down by 2, 4-2. 4 unearned runs by the Red Sox. And Paul Blackburn will start the throw in the Yankee bullpen. One and 2. Early's pitched well. Gave up an RBI single to Dominguez in the first. A home run by Caballero just over the Green Monster. Red Sox getting their bullpen ready.
He's throwing a lot of strikes. And for a young pitcher, I mean, that is half the battle. He's very confident out there, almost 70% strike rate. For a young lefty against the Yankees.
Well, they said that's how he grew up in high school and college, because he didn't throw hard. And he had to throw strikes, throw a lot of change-ups. And it's helped him as he's gotten stronger. And he got out of the first 2 innings pretty unscathed, where there was a lot of traffic, and he did a really good job of getting out of those innings and only giving up the 1 run.
Strike 3. Bellinger down looking.
And it's been pitching from Connolly early. You know, in and out, up and down sweepers, and then right on the black paint with a 4-seamer. And gets Bellinger, a tough guy to strike out, looking.
Well, he has the ability to pitch north, south, and east, west, where a lot of guys don't necessarily have that ability. He does.
One of the things I've seen in the big leagues, really the last 5 years or so, is a lot of starting pitchers, a lot of pitchers are featuring 2-seamers and 4-seamers almost in equal fashion.
Well, it seems that everybody has a cutter now.
Cutter too, but I mean, like sinker, a 2-seamer and a 4-seamer, and then a cutter off of that as well. But that mixture of fastballs really has been in vogue, really, and we've seen Schlittler do it so well too with his power game. Connolly early has it working too here.
Still 0-2 on Dominguez. RBI in the first on a single, and grounded to second in the third.
They're even hitting him hard to the ball person down there. Third base, man. There's some rockets tonight.
Yes.
Swing and a miss. Good changeup. Let's take a look at the Optimum Fiber famously fast replay on early.
Well, he's got what we all call pitchability. And that, to me, bodes well for him moving forward, pitching more innings, getting deeper into games, and sustaining his stuff. See that changeup really dropping right there on Dominguez. But it's been 2-seamers, 4-seamers, up, down, in, out, to your point, Joe. A really good changeup. Sweeping breaking ball.
And you would think for some young left-handers it would be intimidating to try to go into right-handed hitters with the short porch in left field. But he has went in there all night long. He's went in there a lot on Volpe.
Now, if he's going to finish after this inning, he's finishing strong right now. He's retired 6 in a row after the Caballero home run, trying to make it 7.
It's another telltale sign you look for a young pitcher that you just got staked a lead. And you go out there and this is what you show your team. That's how you build confidence and you build respect. Got a chance 0-2 here to have a tremendous shutdown inning.
Fly ball left field. Duran. And the Yankees go down in order. In the 6th. We'll go to the bottom of the 6th. Yankees down by 2. Let's turn to name that Yankee punch by Prevagen, made for your brain. So it's a 3, not that hard, right? 270 average, 831 hits, 70 home runs. Started with the Dodgers, then the Red Sox. Was a Yankee in 2024. Finished with the Braves last year. Paul Blackburn, who's had a 2.19 ERA since the beginning of May. Cam Schlittler, with his 5 innings, has 100 innings for the year. The 4 runs he gave up, unearned, so his ERA dropped from 1.71 to 1.62. Monifer Einstein scoreboard, 4-2 Boston.
Yeah, Blackburn has really pitched well for the Yankees and been really important to him. Actually went back-to-back days, Sunday and Monday, and he can give you some distance. Got a number of weapons that he can use. Michael showed you the ERA since May 1st. I mean, each month he's gotten better and better. An ERA in the 1 in the months of June.
Check out the Yankees bullpen budget, brought to you by Citizens. Make sense of your money with Citizens. They stay away from Bednar and Cruz. Everybody else, chance to get in. They don't like to pitch pitchers 3 days in a row. It's not a hard and fast rule, but it's got to be a really unusual situation.
Yeah, I used to try to wait till about the month of August before I even brought it up, because you understand it's a long year and you're in it for the long haul, not just to win some games in April, May, June.
3-2. That one is lined into center field. It's a base hit. Bellinger will get it in. Narvaez with a leadoff single.
Yeah, a little bit different cutter than Cam's. Not quite as hard and not quite as much movement. And you can see Narvaez is all over this pitch. He's been on base twice. Hit in the second inning, and now this single, 1 for 2.
Grounded to second. There's one on the first. Nothing's on it. They cannot double up Meyer.
Good turn by Jazz. Quick. Just, it's a long way to go to get to Volpe and all the way back. Meyer runs well. Coming at you. Jazz gets it to him quick. It's just got to go a long way, and then Volpe's got to turn it. Boy, by a half step. Needed Sean Dunstan's arm right there.
Yeah, and whenever you have to go to the left like Jazz did, if it's a runner that's above average, it's really going to be hard to turn a double play unless the ball is just smoked. Get the lead runner. Make sure you get the lead runner and play for a double play now.
Yep. I used that reference, Sean Dunstan's arm.
God.
He's kind of the reference point for shortstop's arms.
I mean, that was 100 across the infield.
Fouled away. Yoshida was 0 for 2 with a walk and a run scored against Cam Schlittler.
Yoshida's production has went down each year. He's been in the league 4 years now. 15 and 72 his first year, and everything has went down. OPS, average. Doesn't play the outfield much anymore.
Swing and a miss. 2 away.
Good looking curveball here from Blackburn. If you've got a curveball and you could throw it down there in the dirt right around home plate, there's a lot of swing and misses down there.
Especially lefties who love the ball down and in. They think it's a fastball or a cutter or something hard, and then it just falls off the table.
It's Rafaela. And a strike. Bottom of the 6th inning is 4-2 Boston over New York. One and one. Meyer leads off first. He has 3 stolen bases, held by Rice. You know, it's so odd to be at Fenway Park and look over the Green Monster and not see the iconic Citgo sign. It's going to go back up, but there's so much new construction around here that they said that with buildings going up, it was going to be blocked, so they have to move it 60 feet the other way. It'll probably be done at some point next year. They get the force at second, and that'll do it. No Citgo sign. But if you take a look at this old seating, you see the Citgo sign right under the yes bug. It's not there right now, but it's coming back. I've been promised. Yankees baseball on Yes is brought to you in part by Mohegan Sun, beyond your wildest. By your local Tri-State Genesis retailers. Learn more at genesis.com. And by Optimum Fiber, famously fast fiber internet. Boston, Mass, what a great city. Ford scoreboard, top of the 7th, 4-2. Red Sox over the Yankees. So that's going to do it for early 6 strong innings. They bring in Greg Weissert. So how about this stat? On Monday, Jake Bennett struck out 9 for the Red Sox. On Tuesday, Sonny Gray 11. Yesterday, Ranger Suarez 9. Today, Early struck out 9. It's the first time in franchise history that Red Sox starters have struck out 9 or more batters in 4 straight games.
Wow. First time, really. They've had some pretty good pitching staffs, too. 7th game in a row where the starter's given them at least 6 innings. So far, they're 3-3 with an ERA right around 1.
Well, the Red Sox starters have been good. On the 6-game road trip where they were 3-3, the starters had a 1.43 ERA, a 191 opponent's average against them. They all went 6 innings or more. We said the problem has been their offense. But 4 unearned runs have put them in the lead here in the 7th inning. Danny Colon is getting ready. And there's a walk to Jazz Chisholm to start off the 7th inning against Weissert. That'll bring up Caballero, who homered his last time up. We check out the exit velocity presented by Spectrum, 103.2. Travel 400 feet.
Kind of a wall scraper there.
A big wall.
A big wall, yeah.
A little meeting on the mound with Weissert. Weissert is from Bayshore, New York. Went to Fordham University. Last 15 games, 1.76 ERA. Now, last time when Caballero hit the home run, we saw this celebration with the arrow, and Meredith, you have more.
Michael, I thought maybe he had given a ton of thought to that, but he came back here in the dugout and guys were having a ton of fun with it. Ahmed Rosario duplicating it, Jazz Chisholm getting in on the action as well, and then Caballero just said, hey, that's all I think about. That's what I'm worried about. I asked him how he came up with it, and he simply looked at me and said, I'm crazy. I don't know. That's what I thought of in the moment. No real thought to it at all, but they were all having a good time. At the time, Yankees up 2-0.
So no thought to it.
Just off the cuff.
High fly ball, center field. Rafaela backs up. 1 out as Chisholm heads back to first. So here's Austin Wells. He's thrilled that Early's out. He struck out twice against the left-hander. Now, Joe, you mentioned in Detroit, he's kind of caught between, a little late on fastballs. What's the solution to that? Just sit fastball?
Sell out for fastball.
Right, and if you get a breaking ball, you got me.
Trust that your body and your mind will adjust to the breaking ball. You can't go the other way. It's too hard.
Allen is lined to right field. It's a base hit. Moving to second is Jazz Chisholm, so a base hit for Wells.
And when you're struggling offensively, your mind plays all kind of tricks on you. And he gets to this fastball. I mean, this is 95 up. You see him pull. To me, he's a pull hitter. And when he's hitting the fastball and filleting it to left field, he is late. And those are easy outs, especially at Yankee Stadium, because left field plays pretty big in Yankee Stadium. So for him, he's got to get that pull swing back.
Foul back.
That's a tough sweeper when it starts at you. He's got a really good sinker and a really good sweeper, and this is the one that gives hitters fits because it starts in at you. You think it's the sinker where it's going to run in, you're going to take it, and then you're late on it. You know, he kind of sets like Duvall. You know, he's really closed up, but you don't see a lot of herky-jerk in his shoulders like you do on Duvall.
Duvall gets a little rotational with his delivery at times.
And I actually kind of like, you know, for some guys that closed off because it lowers their arm angle. It gives hitters a different look, and it hides the baseball a little bit longer.
And one of the best of all time, Mariano Rivera, slightly closed.
Foul back. Tomorrow on Yes, the Yankees and the Red Sox play Game 2 here at Fenway Park. Extended coverage starts at 5 with 2 full hours of pregame, leading up to first pitch shortly after 7 on Yes and the Gotham Sports app. Weiser deals. Grounded foul.
It's a heck of a battle right now.
Yeah, and you think about it, he's been throwing him that sinker and that sweeper, and all of a sudden he drops a change on him, which is
showed him everything.
Similar to the sinker movement, but 10 miles an hour slower, and he's able to foul it off. It's because he stays in the middle. To me, he stays in the middle with runners in scoring position, and it allows him to cover everything.
Really battling Weiser.
That's pretty good. I mean, 4th at bat, 26 pitches. You got your leadoff hitter almost averaging 7 pitches in a bat. That'll do some damage on your pitch count. And that's the other thing, Coney, about him. He's okay with being a little late on the fastball because he's thinking the other way. And sometimes he just fouls it off. And he's just waiting for a mistake here. And if he gets it, he's going to waffle it.
Red Sox bullpen, one of their strengths. They come into the game with a 3.25 ERA. That's the best in the American League. So Tracy is asking this bullpen to get 9 outs tonight. Almost got Rojas, and then hits the fence in front of the Yankee dugout.
We give Rojas a hard time. Tom, you got to pick that. Now, just get out of the way because those are some broken digits if you try to pick that.
Runner goes. He's in there. Red Sox sleeping. It was a late steal, a delayed
The catcher
steal.
is challenging the pitch.
And Narvaez is going to challenge the ball call. And the Red Sox are out of challenges, so Narvaez 0 for 2 tonight. And now it's a 3-2
Pitch of the
count.
ball. Boston has no challenges remaining.
Stolen base for Chisholm is 24th of the year.
Yeah, to call Durbin sleeping a little bit because he's late getting to the bag, and Narvaez has to wait a little bit. They're lucky this ball didn't end up in left field. Jazz can steal some bases, can he? Importance of him getting on. He causes havoc.
Don't see that too often. A delayed steal of third.
I've never seen that. I've seen, because the catcher can't throw back to the pitcher, a guy go.
3-2. Boy, is he putting together an at-bat.
You know, you talked about it during the pregame, how he's always got a plan, right? And he has a plan for every pitcher. And your plan can't be the same. And he's not worried about always getting off his A swing. He's worried about just driving this run in any way he can.
Slow roller, that will get a run in. Durbin Field gets it to first. An RBI for Goldschmidt, and the Yankees have pulled to within 1, as well as moves to second. 40th RBI of the season for Goldschmidt.
And it's some kind of at bat he just put on it.
And a pretty big steal by Jazz that allowed that run to score. Red Sox will go to the bullpen with Rice coming up. Well, Yankee fans, fireworks night is back again this season. Kick off your 4th of July weekend at Yankee Stadium on Friday, July 3rd. And stay after the game for a post-game fireworks show courtesy of Baby Ruth. Tickets are going fast, so get your tickets today at Yankees.com. Red Sox go to Danny Coulomb, veteran left-hander, 36 years old, 12th big league season. And he's in there to get Rice. Tying runs at second base. That's Austin Wells.
Ready for my scouting reporting on him, Coney?
Yes.
He can't throw it straight. It's not overpowering. It's 90-91. But he can't throw a ball straight.
But it's a very unusual delivery, too.
Challenged by Rice. That was called the strike on the outside corner. Rice quickly challenged. How about that? He's right.
Pitch of the ball. New York has 2 remaining.
One-0 count.
And the one thing that Austin Wells has to make sure that he does is he gets an aggressive secondary. Yes, you have to be able to get back to second if they try to pick you up. But all these arms in the outfield are really, really good.
Right back to Coulomb. He knocks it down and fires to first to get Rice. And that'll do it. But the Yankees get a run on 1 hit. 1 man left. Time for the stretch in Boston.
Time for your Ford Studio update. Bob and Todd with you. Good pitching battle early against Schlittler. 9 strikeouts each, but Schlittler a little bit of a problem tonight. What'd you see?
Yeah, we saw the ball up a little bit more. The cutter, the 2-seamer, everything a little bit up. It came through in that 5th inning. The Red Sox, a big 5th inning on a big error by Ahmed Rosario. All runs unearned, but fortunate enough, there's still time left.
Adam Ottavito's going to join us on the postgame. We're going to break Schlittler down, see if the Yankees can come back, and a lot more. Back to you, Michael and fellas.
Thank you, guys. 4-3 Red Sox lead. Schlittler won 5. He gave up 4 runs, all unearned. He struck out 9. Caballero with a home run. Early was really good. 1 walk, 9 strikeouts, allowed just 2 runs. And Caleb Durbin, former Yankee, he had a 2-run home run in the 6th. And right now, that's the difference in the game. Yankees go to Tim Hill after Blackburn pitched the 6th.
I would think that Tim Hill would try to run a sinker inside on him since he likes to go the other way, and he's really hit lefties well. Starts with the slider. You don't see that every day.
He's been working on that. Yeah, he's got a new little toy.
The Braves hitting .384 with a couple homers off of lefties so far this year.
Quickly 2-0 on Abreu. Contreras, and Durant. fly ball, left center. Bellinger and Caballero. Caballero somehow made the play over his shoulder on the warning track for the first out.
Yeah, that looked a little bit shaky. I thought Belly was going to come take that. I thought he had time, and you see Caballero. Different angles out there than the infield, and all of a sudden it got over his shoulder, and he had to adjust. It's really a good catch. I mean, that's not an easy catch that he made there.
Wilson Contreras takes a strike. Bottom of the 7th inning, Red Sox 4, Yankees 3. High fly ball, right field. Jason Dominguez for out number 2. Check out Papa John's key ingredients, Yankee bullpen. The last series against the Tigers, Yankees took 2 out of 3. They pitched 10 in the third, 4 hits, didn't allow a run, 4 walks, and 9 strikeouts. So here's Jarren Duran. Inside. Duran a sac fly in that 4-run 5th inning. 1 for 2. 1-1. Garrett Whitlock going to pitch the 8th for the Red Sox. Left center field. Bellinger's there, puts it away. 3 fly balls, 3 straight outs for Hill. We'll go to the 8th. Time to name that Yankee. Those are the numbers, those are the teams, and the answer is Alex Verdugo. Yankees starting left fielder when they went to the World Series in 2024. That's some big hits for them. It's amazing, though. He had a hard time getting a job in 2025 and presently not in the big leagues.
Yes. The fall was hard and fast.
Garrett Whitlock is a new pitcher for the Red Sox. Came back to Boston. He had a big home run here. Made him feel great. 0-2 on Rosario. Yeah, Spencer Jones on the bench if he wants to go to him. Whitlock missed 2 weeks, including the last Yankee series, with left knee inflammation. He returned on June 9th. Swing and a miss. Rosario down on strikes.
Yeah, he has really good off-speed stuff. His slider and his changeup, hitters are hitting 190 or below on. His sinker, not so much. Hitters have had some success. The slider and changeup are really, really good.
Bellinger.
Seems like there's ex-Yankees littered on this Red Sox roster. Whitlock obviously was in the Yankee system. Sigler at second base. Weissert, last inning.
Narvaez.
Durbin.
5.
Durbin.
Did I miss anybody?
I'm sure you did. Sonny Gray.
Yeah.
6. 6 ex-Yankees on the Red Sox roster currently.
Bellinger didn't seem real comfortable against early. 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts. Now getting a chance to see a right-hander.
Can I throw another one out there? Mickey Gasper.
That's right. Minor league. He was a good player in the minor leagues for the Yankees.
2-2. Check out tonight's injury report brought to you by Montefiore Einstein, the official hospital of the New York Yankees. So Trent Grisham is with the team, took BP and ran bases, and on the 10-day IL since June 13th with a right hamstring strain. Popped up way up there. Siegler called off by Abreu. And you move away from the guy with the 16 defensive run save. 2 gold gloves, too. Well, there's Grisham. They could use him back. A lot of people playing out of position because of the injuries. Caballero's not really a left fielder. Would you have Rosario at third if you wanted Caballero in the lineup and Grisham was in center field and Bellinger was in left? So a lot of questions, but they'd like to get their injured players back. Dominguez pops it up as Durbin makes the catch. And Whitlock works a 1-2-3 inning here in the 8th. And now it's time for mobile performance.
Well, you look at Caleb Durbin hits his 2-run homer in the 5th inning to make it 4-2 to put the Boston Red Sox ahead. He hit a hanging cutter, and he had thrown a lot of pitches that inning and got one that he could handle. He's been a much better hitter in the month of June, what they've kind of expected. Also made a pretty flashy play at third base.
Gary De Los Santos comes on for the Yankees. Try to keep it here at 4-3. And we've been naming Red Sox that were ex-Yankees, and the guy that's going to pitch the 9th inning should have been added to that list, and that's Aroldis Chapman.
That would be 8.
8 out of 26.
That are active.
And IKF is on the IL. Meredith Marakovitz just gave me another one. Tommy Kahnle.
I guess it is a short drive, a train ride.
We got 10. We're up to 10.
It's really strange, the crowd chanting that old chant that they have here. I guess the standings on the left field board, we can't see those.
They chanted this at the Patriots Super Bowl. It's ingrained.
Hey, wind up with the country's best professional women's softball players on Yes. Saturday, catch the next AUSL game as the Portland Cascade take on the Texas Volts at 9 p.m. on Yes and the Gotham Sports app. The fastest softball pitchers in that league throwing in the high 70s from 43 feet away, equivalent to around 110 from 60 feet 6 inches for baseball. Keeping it close, diving back Durbin.
Durbin is 7 for 10 stolen bases. You'd think they would try to manufacture another run somehow.
Ground ball and through for a base hit. Siegler with a single. So first and second, nobody out in the bottom of the 8th.
Yeah, just a sinker that he's trying to go away, and he leaves it middle in. Second time that Siegler has had a hit. He's had a double and a single so far tonight. He's actually swung the bat really well for them. And I would expect a bunt here from Narvaez.
That was some fancy footwork by Durbin to not get hit. If he got hit, it's an out. It's a base hit for Siegler, but it'd just be a runner on first with 1 out. Ryan Yarborough getting ready.
Yeah, get him ready for Marcel Meyer.
So Monasterio is going to be the pinch runner. And he'll go in the pinch run for Siegler. So De Los Santos, his first appearance since getting recalled. And he's in immediate trouble. Let's see if Narvaez does bunt. Yankees expecting it. Rice in on the grass at first. And the bunt is back to De Los Santos. He doesn't handle it. Everybody's safe. So that'll be a sacrifice and an E1, and it's the 4th Yankee error.
Well, I think I think he thinks he's got a shot at third. He kind of looked up at third, and you didn't. You got to field the ball and take the out right here. See him kind of look at third before he fields the ball. And there really wasn't a play there at third.
Yeah, and that's understanding the runner, the speed of the bunt. It's communication between the third baseman, telling him first. 4 errors.
Yankees bring the infield in. Now goes behind the batter, and the runners stay put because it bounced right back to Wells. Don't know how Meyer didn't get hit.
It's too far behind him, that's why. Would you say that's holding on a little bit too long?
Yes, sir.
Yankees want to cut the run off, so the infield is in. Nobody out, bases loaded, Red Sox. 2-0, no place to put him.
Might be a good time to take a trip to the mound just to try to settle him down.
Yeah, this is where the game starts to speed up on you when you're out there.
Yeah, he's upset that he made the error.
Well, that will not get a run in. That's just what he needed. Infield fly rule is called, and Volpe makes the play for out number 1. And here is Yoshida against Yerry De Los Santos. They have Yarbrough ready, but they're electing to go with De Los Santos.
This is a little stall tactic right here. And I would think that you would see someone come off their bench, maybe a Nate Eaton, maybe a Connor Wong.
And here comes Boone. So De Los Santos leaves the bases loaded, 1 out. Yarbrough coming on. It's time for the Mercedes-Benz road ahead. 3 more games against the Red Sox tomorrow, and yes, then Saturday's going to be on ABC, Sunday on NBC. Then the Yankees head back home. They'll play 3 against the Tigers, and Thursday's an off day, and then 3 against the Minnesota Twins. Ryan Yarbrough comes on. Pitched on Monday, 2 scoreless innings against the Tigers. Yarbrough and Blackburn have been nice pieces in the bullpen for Aaron Boone. So it is going to be Nate Eaton pinch hitting for Yoshida. Yankees back up looking for the double play. Kind of playing it halfway. Good changeup. Eaton way out in front. One.
Did a really nice job for the Red Sox last year limited at bats. He only had about 90 at bats, but he hit 296, stole 9 bases.
Bases loaded, 1 out. Bottom of the 8th inning, 4-3 Boston. Almost hit him. 2-1.
You saw Heaton telling the manager, it didn't hit me, it didn't hit me. It looked like it did possibly. Pulled it in.
Call on the field, there's no hit by pitch. Boston is challenging.
I thought it might have gotten the blousy part of the shirt.
From the sound, it sounded like there was a little tick there, a ricochet, just from our audio.
Yeah, and he didn't act like it hit him. I thought he was telling the manager it didn't hit him. But
crowd reacts what they see on the replay, and we react and think it got the jersey. Right there. That would be big.
Should the jersey count?
Call on the field is overturned. The runner is hit by the pitch.
No, the jersey counts.
Yeah, we know it counts, but should it?
you think about the 5 runs the Yankees have given up tonight. It's just been extra opportunities they've provided for Boston, whether it was through defense, not making plays, hit by pitches, walks.
Bases remain loaded. An RBI for Eaton. Fouled away. Red Sox have not played well of late. 3 of 4 they've lost, 7 of 10. 10 of 15. That's who will be going up against Chapman for the Yankees. Can they turn 2? 1. No, they don't turn 2. Bad throw. And it pulled Rice off the bag. Another one scores. You got to turn that double play. You can't give an error on a double play, but that's an error.
Yeah, and he did the right thing by taking it himself. It looked like his feet got away from his arm. He didn't get behind his throw. He tried to throw it too early. Ends up making a bad throw. I mean, I think he did the right thing.
That was Abreu. These runs are enormous. It's hard enough to score against Chapman. And now you're going to have to make up a 3-run deficit. And they haven't even gotten the 3rd out yet. One and 2.
Just never got there, did it? 73-mile-an-hour sweeper.
You think you're facing a guy that's thrown 100 all night. Now you're seeing 73. That's why different looks out of a bullpen are so important. You can't just have all hard throwers or all over-the-top guys. Give different looks, and this is a different look.
Popped up on the right side. Jazz Chisholm will make the play, and that'll do it. 2 big runs for the Red Sox. We go to the 9th inning. Yankees down 6-3. Well, fans, stay tuned for tonight's WB8 Mason Yankees postgame as Bob Lorenz, Todd Frazier, and Adam Ottavino are in the studio with highlights and analysis. And we'll hear from Aaron Boone on the Manager's Report. It's all coming up next on Yes and the Gotham Sports app. So they turn to Aroldis Chapman, who allowed 3 runs on Monday in Colorado against the Rockies. Game the Red Sox painfully lost. That was a blown save. Monasterio takes over at second base. And the pitch to Volpe is upstairs.
Yeah, what you see a lot of times by Chapman is that he'll throw his fastball between 95 and 97 when he's trying to throw a strike early in the count. When he gets ahead, he gets it up to 100.
Well, he had converted 14 straight saves until Monday. Red Sox are up 2-0 in Denver when Jake McCarthy hit a bases-loaded triple to walk it off for the Rockies. So his ERA went from 0.83 to 2.08. If the Red Sox don't get back in it, he is a very valuable chip that they could trade to a contender. On a 1-year, $13 million deal, and he's halfway to vesting a $13 million option. The option is at 40 innings, and he's at 21.2. He hasn't pitched a lot because there haven't been a lot of save opportunities.
A lot of coaches yelling at that first base umpire. Man, Tyler Jones, he's hearing it. If it's next year, that's not a strike. If they're using that.
That's correct.
The replay.
It won't be the first time that Chapman will find himself traded at the deadline. That's how the Yankees got Gleyber Torres.
And there's a walk to Volpe, so the leadoff man is on. And they're still yelling at the first base ump.
Yeah, I got to believe he was tossed. Absolutely, he was tossed. Pitching coach got tossed in that situation. Andrew Bailey.
So here is Jazz Chisholm. Fans, go to @Yes Network on X and vote for the Montefiore Einstein Player of the Week. Is it number 1, Jazz Chisholm Jr., number 2, Paul Goldschmidt, or number 3, Cam Schlittler? Well, at the beginning of the year, Chapman said that he would never pitch for the Yankees again. He didn't like the way he was treated. Then a couple of weeks ago, he kind of amended that. Well, if they made a trade for me, the Yankees would have to apologize. Didn't say for what. And Aaron Boone, when asked by the media, said, nope, there's no need to apologize to anybody. That one gets away. 1-1.
And he's having a really hard time throwing strikes with his fastball, and you got Jazz to chase a slider there. I mean, sometimes lack of use for a guy that's older like him, it's really hard to stay sharp. And he was never a guy that wanted to throw if it wasn't a safe situation. It was really hard to get him out there.
He said something fascinating recently, that the reason he's pitching so much better is his age, because he never thought about throwing the ball to a specific place. He would just throw as hard as he could. He didn't think inside or outside. This year, he's doing that. Chop to second base. Monasterio gets walked on to first. Not in time.
Monasterio does a really good job of setting his feet up to throw towards second before the ball gets to him, and it allows him to get Volpe at second base. Jazz runs just too well to turn a double play. Good footwork by Monasterio.
Caballero. Yankees need one more base runner. That'll bring the tying run to the plate.
So that's the one thing I don't understand, Coney. He got it out, and all of a sudden his fastball's 98 again.
Max Schumann is on deck to pinch hit for Wells. One and one. Chop over the head of Durbin and into left field, a base hit. So the Yankees are still alive here in the ninth inning. First and second, one man out.
Well, you can see the infield dirt is really hard at home plate, which allows us to bound over Durbin's head. And as a pitcher, this has to frustrate you because you get the ground ball you want at the third baseman, but because it's so hard out in front, it's an argument that hitters and pitchers have all the time with the grounds crew. Hey, you need to soften up. No, you need to harden that up.
Yeah.
You know, so we can hit and score some more runs. The ball gets through the infield. Looks like the hitters are winning the argument.
Yeah, a Baltimore chop in Boston.
This should probably chap you, Coney.
All right, so here is Schumann pinch hitting for Wells. One and oh. You've got Paul Goldschmidt on deck. Chisholm's at second, Caballero's at first, so good speed on the bases for the Yanks. 2-0.
And you look at Boston, they are out of challenges, so they can't even challenge if they think it's close. The Yankees still have 2 remaining.
Well, we've seen Schumann give good at-bats in these spots before and really be selective.
Michael said it yesterday. Every time he seems to get in a game, he does something positive. We saw the positive defense yesterday. Made some really good catches out in the outfield.
Foul back. When we looked at that dugout, the 3 guys in sweatshirts, the Yankees can't wait to get them back. How things would change, the lineup would lengthen. But still a while. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Chapman deals. High fly ball. Abreu will make the catch. Runners stay put. And it'll be 2 veterans. Chapman against Goldschmidt with 2 outs in the ninth.
You think he turns his fastball up a little bit here?
I think so, yes.
Yeah, I think he's got to.
I think Goldschmidt's got a plan right now. The wheels are spinning. He's looking for something early, middle in that he could tie this game up.
38-year-old pitcher against a 38-year-old hitter. Goldschmidt's the tying run at the plate. Yankees trail 6-3. miles an hour for strike.
Well, if you're going to use challenges, now's the time.
Yeah.
You got 2 left.
Anything questionable, he has to
I'm
check.
using one right there.
I wouldn't be afraid to use both of them.
The 0-1. 0-2. Sellout crowd at Fenway Park, most of them standing. Red Sox have not had a season where there's much to cheer about. And the 0-2. Over the mound. Monasterio bombs. Everybody's safe. And the bases are loaded.
So I know that's a tough play for Monasterio, but I'm going to question that because when you look at his defense, he's a -5 outs above average. He is not a very good defender. You put him in the pinch run for the guy on first, not the guy on second. I know he runs really well, and now it gives the Yankees a chance to maybe take the lead.
Well, the tying runs at first base, so Goldschmidt's taken out. Spencer Jones, considered the fastest Yankee, is going to pinch run at first base. And here is Ben Rice against Chapman. Rice is 0 for 4. He is 2 for 17 on this road trip. And he takes a first pitch strike. He's faced Chapman once, he's made an out. So 0 for 1 in his career. Dribbled slowly up the first base line. Fielded by Chapman, and he gets the out at first. And the ball game is over. And the Red Sox beat the Yankees 6-3. Chapman with a pretty nice defensive play to get Rice at first, and the Yankees lose a game where they played very sloppy baseball.
Yeah, I didn't think he was going to be able to make this play because he was going to be right in line with Ben Rice when he had to throw it, but he let it over his head. A good job by Contreras to stay in there. He went down, and did you see how he opened his hand really wide to make sure that he got it? And then he just made the easy throw. A really good slider on his part. He knows that Ben Rice is a great fastball hitter. He made it interesting, but he got the job done.
Yankees give up 6 runs in this game, all of them unearned. And that's the most they've done that since April 10th of 2018, which was also at Fenway Park. Not a clean game by the Yankees. And the margin of error with all the injuries is so small right now, you got to give just 27 outs. And the Yankees gave it 31 today. Red Sox win 6-3. We take a look at the game-changing drive of the game brought to you by Audi and the all-new Audi Q3.
Well, Caleb Durbin, who has been hot in the month of June, gets this 3-2 cutter that's 95 for Cam Schlittler. They were 97 earlier in the game, but he was getting up in pitch count. He hung it, and Durbin hit a 2-run homer and put him up 4-2.
Time now for the Chevy player of the game.
Well, on the mound, young Connerly was early enough and stayed late enough. Pitched 6 innings, struck out 9, and really was in control the whole game. Threw a bunch of strikes, 70 strikes out of 98 pitches. That was good enough for the win. The Chevy player of the game.
All 6 Red Sox runs unearned because of the 4 Yankee errors at 2 hours and 58 minutes. Earliest 7th win. Chapman is 15th save. Schlittler, the hard luck loser. Coming up on the YES Network, stay tuned for the WB Mason postgame show with Bob Lorenz, Todd Frazier, and Adam Ottavino. Special thanks to producer Troy Benjamin, director Dan Barr, Mike Webb, and the executive producer is Jared Ames Boschnack. Join us again tomorrow as the Yankees continue this series at Fenway against the Red Sox. Coverage will begin at 5 p.m. on YES, with first pitch coming shortly after 7. Again, the final score, the Boston Red Sox 6, the New York Yankees 3. For David Cohn, Joe Girardi, and Meredith Marakovitz, I'm Michael Kay, saying see ya from Fenway Park in Boston, Massachusetts. Now let's go to Bob Lorenz, Todd Frazier, and Adam Ottavino, standing by in our YES Network studios with the post-game show. Guys?